The Hound and the Hare. A young hound startled a hare, and when he caught her up, he would at one moment snap at her with his teeth, as though he were about to kill her, while at another he would let go his hold and frisk about her as if he were playing with another dog. At last the hare said, "I wish you would show yourself in your true colours. If you are my friend, why do you bite me? If you are my enemy, why do you play with me?" The moral of the story is, he is no friend who plays double. The Lion, the Mouse, and the Fox. A Lion was lying asleep at the mouth of his den when a Mouse ran over his back and tickled him so that he woke up with a start and began looking about everywhere to see what it was that had disturbed him. A Fox, who was looking on, thought he would have a great joke at the expense of the Lion. So he said, "Well, this is the first time I've seen a lion afraid of a mouse." "Afraid of a mouse?" said the Lion testily. "Not I. It's his bad manners I can't stand." The Trumpeter taken prisoner. A Trumpeter marched into battle in the vanguard of the army, and put courage into his comrades by his warlike tunes. Being captured by the enemy, he begged for his life, and said, "Do not put me to death. I've killed no one. Indeed, I have no weapons, but carry with me only my trumpet here." But his captors replied, "That is only the more reason why we should take your life, for though you do not fight yourself, you stir up others to do so." The Wolf and the Crane. A Wolf once got a bone stuck in his throat. So he went to a Crane and begged her to put her long bill down his throat and pull it out. "I'll make it worth your while," he added. The Crane did as she was asked, and got the bone out quite easily. The Wolf thanked her warmly, and was just turning away when she cried, "What about that bee of mine?" "Well, what about it?" snapped the Wolf, baring his teeth as he spoke. "You can go about boasting that you once put your head into a wolf's mouth and didn't get it bitten off. What more do you want?" The Eagle, the Cat, and the Wild Sow. An Eagle built her nest at the top of a high tree. A Cat with her family occupied a hollow in the trunk halfway down, and a Wild Sow and her young took up their quarters at the foot. They might have got on very well as neighbours had it not been for the evil cunning of the Cat. Climbing up to the Eagle's nest, she said to the Eagle, "You and I are in the greatest possible danger. That dreadful creature, the Sow, who is always to be seen grubbing away at the foot of the tree, means to uproot it, so that she may devour your family and mine at her ease." Having thus driven the Eagle almost out of her senses with terror, the Cat climbed down the tree and said to the Sow, "I must warn you against that dreadful bird, the Eagle. She is only waiting for her chance to fly down and carry off one of your little pigs when you take them out to feed her brood with." She succeeded in frightening the Sow as much as the Eagle. Then she returned to her hole in the trunk, from which, feigning to be afraid, she never came forth by day. Only by night did she creep out unseen to procure food for her kittens. The Eagle, meanwhile, was afraid to stir from her nest, and the Sow dared not leave her home among the roots, so that in time both they and their families perished of hunger, and their dead bodies supplied the Cat with ample food for her growing family. The Wolf and the Sheep. A Wolf was worried and badly bitten by dogs, and lay a long time for dead. By and by he began to revive, and, feeling very hungry, called out to a passing sheep and said, "Would you kindly bring me some water from the stream close by? I can manage about meat if only I could get something to drink." But this sheep was no fool. "I can quite understand," said he, "that if I brought you the water, you would have no difficulty about the meat. Good morning. The Tunny-Fish and the Dolphin. A Tunny-Fish was chased by a Dolphin and splashed through the water at a great rate. But the Dolphin gradually gained upon him and was just about to seize him when the force of the Dolphin's flight carried the Tunny onto a sandbank. In the heat of the chase the Dolphin followed him, and there they both lay out of the water and gasping for dear life. When the Tunny saw that his enemy was doomed like himself, he said, "I don't mind having to die now, for I see that he who is the cause of my death is about to share the same fate." The Three Tradesmen. The citizens of a certain city were debating about the best material to use in the fortifications which were about to be erected for the greater security of the town. A carpenter got up and advised the use of wood, which he said was readily procurable and easily worked. A stonemason objected to wood on the grounds that it was so inflammable, and recommended stones instead. Then a tanner got on his legs and said, "In my opinion, there's nothing like leather." The moral of the story is, every man for himself. The Mouse and the Bull. A Bull gave chase to a Mouse which had bitten him in the nose, but the Mouse was too quick for him and slipped into a hole in the wall. The Bull charged furiously into the wall again and again until he was tired out and sank down on the ground exhausted with his efforts. When all was quiet, the Mouse darted out and bit him again. Beside himself with rage, he started to his feet, but by that time the Mouse was back in his hole again, and the Bull could do nothing but bellow and fume in helpless anger. Presently he heard a shrill little voice say from inside the wall, "You big fellows don't always have it your own way, you see. Sometimes we little ones come off best." The moral of the story is that the battle is not always to the strong. The Hare and the Hound. A Hound startled a Hare from her warren and pursued her for some distance. But as she was gradually getting away from him, he gave up the chase. A rustic who had seen the race met the Hound as he was returning, and taunted him with his defeat. "The little one was too much for you," said he. "Ah, well," said the Hound, "don't forget, it's one thing to be running for your dinner, but quite another to be running for your life."